Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with Freddie Roach, of course the trainer of Miguel Cotto. There's a huge pay-per-view coming up with Canelo Alvarez, November 21st at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, Nevada. Freddie, I know there's a lot of buzz about this fight. I know you've been involved in a lot of big fights, and the biggest fight probably of all time, but what do you make of this matchup, and really, what's the key for Miguel in this matchup?
I feel the key to be in great shape for this fight. We condition really well because I think the early rounds were a little bit tough, but then as the fight goes on, I think it favors us a little bit. So I want to have enough energy at the end to knock this guy out and save that power for a little bit later.
Looking at you, how big of a concern is the type of pressure Canelo can bring when he wants it and his youth?
Well, the thing is, he does put pressure on early and so forth, and something we're going to have to deal with. And but we have a pretty good game plan for that set out already. And Miguel's a lot more mobile than people think, and we're going to see a little bit of a different Miguel in this fight.
See, that's what I was thinking too, because I know fans are thinking, oh, well, it's going to be head-to-head clash, and then if you really look at Miguel, he can move, like you mentioned. His second fight with Margarito, he boxed beautifully in that fight, so he has that ability. But do you feel that emotion won't get the best of Miguel and he'll want to, exchange with Canelo, or do you think he'll be disciplined enough to be able to move around for 12 rounds?
No, he's. I feel he has great discipline, and he knows why and how we're going to fight this fight. And I just don't tell him the strategy. I tell him why and why it's going to work, and so it's complicated. So we both understand completely of how we're going to win this fight, and I think we're going to have great success in this fight. Again, I've been wanting this fight for a long time, and it's finally here.
When Freddie Roach wants a fight, that means because he sees something that you could majorly expose in the fighter. You don't ever get like this unless you're 100% sure you feel your fighter can win. So when you say that, what do you see in him that makes Canelo just so vulnerable to Miguel's style?
Well, I have a lot of insight on his training camps and so forth. He trained in my gym for 3 fights, and I don't think he's the most dedicated guy in the world, and I think I have a guy that is dedicated, and will do anything to win, and that's what Miguel is all about. So the thing is, he'll sacrifice everything to win this fight, and I think that's what we have to do to win today. So I have no problem with that whatsoever. He's a very disciplined, hard-working fighter.
How comfortable are you guys going in the pocket with Canelo?
I have no problem in the pocket. I think because his long arms and so forth, he needs a little bit more room to punch. In the pocket is our advantage because we're the shorter puncher, and in the pocket is going to be a good place for us.
And who has a better hook? Because both guys have tremendous hooks, but in your opinion, who has the better one?
I think we do. Yeah, I think we're proving that over and over again, and it's getting better now than ever.
A lot of talk about Cotto, last 3 opponents. People are saying, oh, well, it's kind of hard to gauge where Cotto's really at because of the last 3 guys. But on the flip side, what do you make of the last 2 guys Canelo fought against, and how do you rate them?
The thing is, we fought last fight. The guy was a former 2-time world champion. Fight before that, this guy was a tough fight. He beat my guy Chavez up pretty bad. He beat him for 11 rounds, and we destroyed him. And you can't say he wasn't a good fighter. And people say he was injured and so forth. I say, fuck the injury. He wasn't injured in that fight. He just got a little bit too fat. But the thing is, one thing about Miguel, he likes for me to explain the game plan to him. We work it out, and we work it perfectly, and he has a lot of trust in me, and this game plan is going to be the same as last. It's going to work very well, I promise you.
Looking at the list of opponents Cotto has had in his career, and you look at Canelo, is Canelo up there in terms of difficulty, or you don't really see it that way?
Not yet. Yeah, he's still young. He still hasn't had that maturity yet. And the thing is, I'm not even sure if there's a lot of guys out there anymore like that, because I think the fighters of when Miguel and I were early pros and stuff like that, like in the towards the end of my career and in the beginning of his, in the early 80s and so forth, I think boxing was just a better sport at that time. I think ring generalship and trainers aren't that good anymore.
At the end of the night, on that night in Las Vegas, what do you think we're all going to be talking about, and what do you think is going to be the headline towards this fight?
I'm not so sure because, again, maybe Triple G's next.
Yeah. Is he committed, Miguel, to that fight? To fight him next?
We both say why not. The thing is, it's a big fight and so forth. But the thing is, there's a lot of negotiations to go on after that. So it's just not going to happen automatically. But negotiations will hopefully begin.
Are you comfortable having him fight Gennady at a full 160, or do you think that we might see a catch weight in that fight when it happens down the line?
Well, the thing is, I don't like catch weights, and I think he should fight at 160. But again, I'm not the manager, and I don't make those decisions. So you'll have to ask Gabby about that one, because that's his job, not mine.
Freddie, as always, it's great seeing you. Thank you so much here with Freddie Roach, of course, working the corner of Miguel Cotto coming up against his matchup with Canelo Alvarez.